Well, if you look around you, you will get to know that 2020 was clearly the year of revenge travel. Everything's packed, right? Hotels are packed, flights are full, bookings are long waiting periods. But what does demand look like as we head into the new year? Have bookings improved much post the festive season? Also, has caution over new COVID variants led to any cancellations? Ayyappan R, the Chief Executive Officer at Cleartrip, joins us now to talk about that. Ayyappan, thanks a lot for joining in. Before we talk about the key numbers, just tell us about the sentiment because, even though prices are escalating by the hour, hotels and flights are still full. So how have the bookings been for you at Cleartrip, and what are the trends that you see in the next fiscal?
Thank you, Rima, firstly, for having me on the show. You're absolutely right. I think the demand has been super unpredictable. The last 12 months has been a roller coaster for all of us in the travel space. Whether it's airlines, hotels, bus operators, trains. I think for everyone, learning has been the key through this period because you never know what's going to happen 3 months from now. As we speak, 2-3 months back, we were hitting the best ever demand generation. And right now there is a discussion on COVID. But thankfully, at this point of time, all is well for the holiday period and we haven't seen any cancellations. The demand that we have been touching has been all-time high in the last few days. And we believe that's going to continue for weeks ahead. Unless otherwise, of course, there is an act of God and nobody can predict how it's going to happen. But largely, we have been seeing around 3x the demand that we used to see the pre-COVID period. Compared to December, post-COVID, I would say the first wave sort of numbers, the numbers are around 50 to 60% higher. But the point to note, like you pointed out as well, is the average prices, whether it's a room night rate or it's a flying ticket price, have also shot up by at least 30 to 40%. But in spite of that, the hotel rooms have been running full and the flights have been running full. In spite of lesser number of flights, we have been watching close to 4.1, 4.2 lakh daily flyers, which is the highest that used to be pre-COVID, in spite of prices being 30% lower.
So you
very
said
clearly
bookings,
the demand is hitting the roof.
You said booking volumes are 50 to 60% higher than when? The pre-COVID period?
The December similar period for Cleartrip as a platform.
Okay.
For industry as such, my sense is this is between 15 to 20%.
Okay.
But you also said volumes are 3x higher. So
that's right. So there are two parts,
okay,
right? So maybe let's demystify that. One is compared to the pre-COVID. The second is the COVID wave came in, and then what happened compared to that period, right?
Okay.
So because the highest that the numbers used to hit was around 4.2 lakh flyers. This was pre-COVID number, but the post-COVID wave, around similar periods, the flying numbers used to be around 2.5 to 3 lakh. If you remember, last December, January saw a lot of COVID cases as well in the country.
Okay. So can you tell us, what is your market share now versus other platforms and how does it compare with Ease My Trip?
So our growth numbers have been 3x. Our market share has doubled. We are a number 2 OTA player at this point of time. I would resist myself comparing ourselves with the other OTA players. We are a lot more into B2C space.
What is the share now?
Like other players. So we are number 2. I would not be able to because there is no one central agency to measure that. Yeah. So this is from the secondary data. We are number 2 in the OTA space. We used to be number 4 a year and a half back. So that's a jump we have seen in the last 12 to 18 months.
December year-end festive season is typically high when it comes to travel, right? Could you give us an indication of what the bookings are across flights, trains, as well as hotels with Cleartrip for the month of January and thereafter?
Yeah, the bookings have been quite advanced as well. So we are not just seeing the bookings for December and the New Year period, but we see the demand going into the Jan and Feb as well. The last few days, the airlines, all the airline partners have been running promotion offers starting with Jan 15th already. That's because the books of till Jan 15th is already booked. Everybody is running full. Probably 80 to 85% of the flights are already full. And hence the focus has become already to take the bookings from Jan mid all the way to March and April because we are seeing what is happening at this point of time. So this way the prices are lower as well for the consumers. At the same time, this sort of early planning and booking will help everyone in the sector. So the demand has been going through the Jan to March as well, and it's not just about December and Jan.
So you said that you moved from number 4 to number 2 player. That's quite something, right? I'm sure it's coming at the cost of your margins or operational performance, because you have seen higher ad spends and other expenses which have hurt your operations in the quarter gone by. Are you doing a lot more in terms of advertising to gain market share? And if yes, as a percentage of sales, what will it be?
So three areas that we have invested in that's led to our market share and the market position moving from number 4 to number 2. The first and foremost being starting from consumers looking and thinking backward, especially with COVID around. Flexibility is the name of the game. And to ensure that consumers are having a great experience, we launched products like Cleartrip Flex Max, Cleartrip Advantage, refunds within 24 hours. All these are unheard of in the industry because typically you wait for the refunds to come in from the airline. But as an OTA player, we believe that we need to give the best customer experience that the consumer deserves. So this is number one. Second, we invested hugely in the technology front. We hired 3x of our existing engineer count. The last 18 months, our tech force has been tripled. So that's been the second initiative. Third, of course, like you rightly pointed out, there has been marketing investment as well. Right, Big Billion Days, which we participated along as a Flipkart group company, we participated in that, followed by the brand marketing campaign of Cleartrip as well. We have been investing heavily, and Vicky Katrina has been our first set of brand ambassadors that we looped in. And this is their campaign post their marriage as well. So all of that put together, it has generated a good decibel and noise in the market for us. And that has led to this top of the funnel traffic and the overall numbers.
And overall, on the whole, for the industry, would you say the profitability is on the rise?
I think it's getting better by the quarter, because if you look at it, the crude oil prices have jumped up like almost 35 to 40%. And the crude oil prices form the single biggest element for any airline out there. So because of the cost pressure, definitely the profitability took a hit. And because of the higher prices, everybody had to increase the sort of discount as well. So all of this put together, profitability definitely got hit in the last few quarters. But what we have seen is that, especially starting with Jazz as a quarter, with the festive season starting, even continuing into OND and JFM, we believe that the demand coming back is going to overall help rationalize the discounts. So we believe the overall demand is going to be pretty high. And because of that, the profitability is going to get better as well, because of the pressure on not investing heavily on discounts.
Okay, well, I know you've already spent on Vicky and Katrina. It's showing up in your ad spends. But let me tell you one thing, with the way revenge travel has come back, you don't need any celebrity to promote your business. You'll get through with it anyway. Thanks a lot for joining us, and have a great festive season. Happy holidays to you. Thanks for being with us on CNBC TV18. That's Cleartrip with their business. Let's do one thing. Let's slip into a quick break. On the other side, we'll get you more market opinion.